Welcome back to Therapy Thursday. With the change to the nicer weather, we're starting to see an influx of one of the most common injuries that we see in our clinic, and that's a lateral ankle sprain, or when you roll over on your ankle this way. They're very common in summer sports like outdoor basketball or soccer, or really anything where there's any sort of cutting motion that happens. Now, for almost any injury, we always prefer to do what are called closed chain exercises, or exercises where the person's actually bearing their own weight, as opposed to an open chain exercise where their foot may be off the ground. So these are the typical rehab exercises people are prescribed for a lateral ankle sprain. We just prefer to do them when the person's actually standing. A super common exercise that's prescribed for this is to get somebody standing on one foot and just trying to balance there. Now, that may be great for proprioception or trying to improve somebody's balance or awareness in space. And the acute stage of the exercise, we're actually trying to preferentially focus on the outer portion of somebody's leg down here. It's called the fibularis group, or the peroneal group. We even did a previous blog post about 5 years ago on this called the fibularis raise exercise progression if you want to search for that. That's how important we think it is. And it's been validated now. The paper of the year for the British Journal of Sports Medicine showed that early weight bearing is extremely important for getting somebody better from this. So we're going to show you a little tweak on a common exercise. As soon as I go onto one foot, you'll see that my hips shift to the side to center my center of mass over my base of support. Instead of doing that, we're going to tweak it a bit so that you can start to get a little bit of activation on the outer portion of your ankle. So instead of that, we're going to cue the person to hang on to something, but then keep their ankle in line with their hip, in line with their shoulder. You're going to see that my foot's going to go towards the inside slightly, and you should see an activation of this muscle group on the outside. So my cue again is to keep my ankle in line with hip and shoulder, and I'm just going to stand this way, and hopefully you should be able to see that the outer portion of my leg starts to fire a little bit, and in fact I can feel a very good contraction out there. Now typically when we're prescribing this exercise, we will go for 5 sets or repetitions of 45 seconds a couple of times per day, and that is literally as soon as somebody is comfortable bearing weight. So that might be the first day or the second day after one of those nasty injuries. Just a tweak on a common exercise, but one that we find really useful. Stay tuned for the next Therapy Thursday.